Hey everybody, we're just jumping right into this. This is going to be very short, like the name says, because it is very late and I still have work the next couple of days. But I just figured, because I kind of wanted to play and mess around leveling up a bit, but before that, I want to use Voskov, who will let us travel across the water, and grab all of the little cactus sightings we missed at the beginning of the game after finding the first one. So I'm going to be... Let me turn the actual speakers down here. So I'm going to be doing some actual fighting. We'll make our way back towards the start to grab those sightings that we overlooked. And then on top of that, we're going back to the start to... there we go, wow. Nice, that gave everyone the next level there. But let's think, on top of that, not only are we grabbing the little cactuses back towards the beginning that we didn't get, or that I forgot to check for after fighting the first one, because there's about 3 or 4 sightings after you get him the first time in the areas before that. And then there's a couple after that that I didn't see him when I was looking, and I forgot to check if he was there. Nice. Got another clover. Those are always going to be nice to have. Backtracking here some too to help us level up our elemental plots. Alright, if I don't quite respond immediately, I don't have my phone on me this late, and that's usually how I check to make sure if anyone's saying anything. If you do say something and I don't catch you before I'm done, if you have your DMs open to people, I will reply to you and them just so you know that I saw it. But I do want to run through here as opposed to just Meridian travel a little bit, just for the point of experience, although the fight's getting have way too many enemies for me to be doing that right now. We're back down the cliffs at the watch. Alright, no, not the woods. It does look like there are some things in there that we could grab, so let's see if I can get those before we leave the cliff side here. Not too sure where these are going to be. Oop. Nope, sorry. I may just jump out from being stuck in your cart there. Alright, nice. Here we go. Another fairy acorn from that one. Worried mother. Oh, he's run off again. I am at wit's end with that boy. So the last items are probably going to be here, because most any time we came here, as soon as you came close to the backside of the garrison here, you went into the scene for climbing the cliff. Right? So there's a piece of chocolate in that one. We got one more chest. So there were 2 chests actually sitting out here, along with a gold clover that was just sitting on the ground. Looks like it's right around here, yeah. Oops, nope, sorry. And I still, for the life of me, can't remember what that glowing bar does there. I know it was explained to us at one point, but it's been a bit since that explanation. Can I get up there? No. Alright, there we go. Nope, won't let us just skirt along the edge there. I'm not sure what this is. Because it's not back here on this side of the wall. Right next to the cliff like the other two were. Might have to run around this way, although I'm not sure if even that'll let us get to it. No idea. It doesn't seem like it's a chest because that has the green beacon, but I'm not seeing anything. Found two of these. I should be able to find this last one, whatever the heck it is. Unfortunately, I can't take too much time to look at that right now. Alright, so we want to go to the gorge here at the other end. And basically, because of how late this is right now for me, this is going to take some time, especially if I want to take care of the other thing I'm thinking of trying to do a little bit of before going to bed. Using the fast meridian travel is going to be the absolute best idea for that. Pasture. And if you're wondering what that is, outside of finding all the missing little cactuses from the beginning, I want to try to take on some of the game's earliest elemental areas where, at this point in the game, some of the first ones, especially since we have all of the party members now, shouldn't be too hard. In fact, I'm even thinking using like Morley and Palomina might be a bit of a better option for some of them. The one thing I have noticed using Val's greatsword and using his other standard sword ability here, when you just have them as the soul guard, and using this one, is their class strikes are the same with every weapon. It's just a different element. So as opposed to a Soul Guard 1 being fire-based, this is the same thing, but with earth. And now we have slightly more manageable groups that I'll start fighting a little more regularly. Palomina has the wind, I think. She used hers. I have the earth that we just recently got with Jule there. The earth vessel is on Val. Yeah, she's got the moon, sorry. No one's using wind right now. And the only vessels that are actually missing are actually light and dark. So interesting to see which weapons those are, since they can give you like 3 classes that have their weapon that they have when they're not attuned to an elemental vessel. Because I think it's either Palomina or Val, or it even could be Morley, have 3 of the elemental classes where it uses their non-element, the weapon that they started with, without being aligned to anything. I love the moons. So we have the one from the pasture here. Now, there are more things we couldn't quite reach just yet here. I guess I can see if I can reach a couple of them. Okay, yeah, that's an Airy. I will activate that just so it's marked and it's not a point of interest anymore. Oh yeah, because we have the Earth vessel now, so we can now activate that. In fact, some of the ones on the way to Illistana from the port town, Legis Bay, we could probably even do those Aries. But I don't think we could even do the ones out here yet. Okay, heading the right way to get back to the castle right now. There's something else in the field, but I'll do that a little bit later. Most likely in another stream, considering how late it is. Stop, let me grab the Valor Fly, please. I'll do these couple of fights right here with it. And then heading up towards that, we saw a fight with some bumpkins down here. We'll take care of them while we have the Valor Fly booster experience too. Oh, sure, I'll do this one too while we still have a decent bit of time. As long as I start the fight while I have the Valor Fly boost active. If it hits 1 while we're still fighting, it doesn't drop below 1, so we can still get the experience for it. A couple up there, but we have to get to that bridge for that. We're close enough, let's speed this up a bit. Oh, okay, that must be what that gauge is for, the elemental breaks. I haven't unlocked those on everyone because when you use the first class expansion item to get to the second set of skills, the elemental break is the first one and you still have to actually spend your elemental points on it. Oh, there's a couple quests here that I never grabbed. Well, we did actually get the little cactus that was in here. Because before we went up the Day Cliffs, I actually went back through every area, including Illistana, Legis Bay, and the pasture, and got them. Oh, okay, this is Traveler Fiona with behind the scenery quest again. Traveler, again. Illistana was where my parents first met. Mother always said that their meeting felt like destiny at work. This is also Mother's hometown, so I figured I'd stay a while and spend some time exploring. I never expected that Illistana would be so large, nor that the streets would be so confusing. I hoped it would be easier to find the location from another painting here. And on that note, do you mind if I bother you for your help again? This is the place I'm searching for. Yeah, it's definitely a painting from within Illistana. I assume it's somewhere in Elistana, although I haven't been able to find it myself. Yeah, the way he painted those, it is a bit tricky, the way they're stroked and everything. It doesn't quite match up to the scenery as much as you'd think it would. So that gives us behind the scenery 3. Let me just go grab this other quest up here, then we'll continue back towards the water where we can summon. Well, actually, you know what? I probably could have summoned him by the Day Cliffs. Being kind of dumb with that. I'll just grab these quests while we're at it. We're going to need him in order to cross back over the ocean. Kind of hard to make. You worry too much, Lottie. Your tail is adorable. It's easy for you to say, Maya. Mine's not as big or as fleecy as yours, as I can't help but compare them. Yours doesn't have to look like mine, you know. Having different tails is part of what makes us all unique. Yeah, I know, but... Oh, Lility, what do I need to do to make you feel more comfortable in your own fur, Did you overhear a conversation just now? I am Megan. This is my best friend, Lility. She's always been insecure about her tail, worrying that it's not as big or as fluffy as everyone else's. I don't really know what she's going on about. I think she has a beautiful tail. Well, I've got an idea, sir. Do you think you can ask other people who have tails what they think of theirs? I don't think she will listen to anything I have to say. Perhaps hearing it from someone else will help her. Help her to feel better about herself. What do you say, sir? Can you let me hand it? I know this one sounds like it's not going to have us leave the city at all to do it. Because of the press for time, I'm just not going to bother that right now. We'll come back and do that later in another stream. Alright, so... let's go to the entrance here. We gotta head in the opposite direction from the star. It'd be nice if once you had the weapon once, regardless of selling it or not, you could change it over. Help you make some money back that way. It's a Rita Ridge. We actually do have that one. I feel like if we head down to the beach there, we would be able to call him. Break these just to heal up a little bit. Believe it or not, I actually don't remember if I have any of the elemental breaks on Vale. I've only done them for a couple people. Yep, this is a spot where you can use the flute. And thankfully, I shortcutted it. So I don't have to go into the radial menu for it. The maps right now? It doesn't seem like it. That's the cliffs. Yeah, which of course was where we could have gone. Well, here's the shrine where we lost Here's the shrine where we lost Hina. I don't remember if we're past chapter 3 to actually get this one or not, but we'll check. We might be. And if I recall, he's actually like wedged into the cliff here somewhere. I wonder if the butterflies are like the sign of light, but I don't think that's what Lumina. Yeah, that's not what Lumina looks like. Doesn't mean it couldn't be though. This slipped me down further than I thought it did. Pretty sure I remembered him not actually being all the way up at the shrine and tucked into the cliff somewhere on your way up. Oh yeah, they're here now. Yep, and there's Jule. Looks like Palomina's all the way out here. Let's talk to them and see what they have to say. Come what way, we must maintain our momentum and keep moving forward. There's a strange undercurrent on the wind here. Do you hear it? Something is different about it, but I can't tell why. I've never felt this kind of energy carried on the wind before. This is Regna's Shrine. There's definitely something unnerving about in the air here. You think the altar here was built to concentrate large amounts of mana into one spot? Just imagine all the rituals that they have been had here over the years. Yeah. You know, like the one that took the Alm of Fire from us. I'm just gonna check around all these large rock ruins. There he is. We can get him at this point. Shake, find a little cactus. You found me. Where to next? Fortunately, those lines are like the same almost every time you find him. And there's that sighting and diary page. Gonna head back down, get back on Vuskov, and make our way to the starting continent to find him, like every place over there. And this is interesting that we could get to that cliffside there. Bit noisier in the background right now. It's just because it's actually gotten pretty hot here again, so I kind of need my AC on in the room to keep it livable at least, so I don't get way too hot and sweaty when I have to, since I do have to go back into work, and just for the sake of comfort. Alright, what is this one? Oh, the Fire Village. Okay. I figured we could even go back at the harbor and land, but Kienia's fine too. I mean, after you find Little Cactus, the sightings do go all the way back to the first area right here, so... And we actually have more Elementite that we can grab now that we have all of the regular elements, including wood and moon. Although you do get moon before you actually leave here. None of the others do you have before this point. Oh, there's a quest here now. Steadfast Amar. When I was a kid, I remember reading the story about a soul guard who met a group of friendly monsters. It was a heartfelt tale like anything I'd read before. Ever since then, it's been a dream of mine to befriend a monster. I've been trying to find a monster to be my buddy ever since. In fact, just the other day, I spotted a group of real friendly-looking goblins in Shard Passage. I'm sure they want to be pals with me. Right, I've decided I'm going to go make friends with them. Bye. Wow. Just tell me that to decide you're going to leave and do it. Regardless of anything else. Okay, you just have armor. This is the shop I wanted to look to. I'm gonna get the Felshan just because I like the way it looked. For his weapon appearance. Here, the Brave Blade on. Although, like, the Mithril Sword and the Stalwart, I think, are the strongest ones right now. Alright. So now, I don't have the guide up. We need to search around until we find him. Although having it up might help, as it will probably save a decent bit of time, so that I'm not up too late and dead tired at work tomorrow. For some reason, I actually have a bit of a feeling that he's around Val's house somewhere. I could be completely wrong, I just feel like I should follow this thought. Yeah, it doesn't look like it is where he was in Tiania. Alright, give me 1 second, I am gonna pull up that guide. So just take a second. Okay. Good to do this now. Make sure the core is not too heavy weighing down the controller on me too much. Okay. The chest didn't show up on the image that the game showed us, so let's head where I'm pretty sure that the image was pointing out to us. Down this way. Pretty sure we will find him. I thought it would be another case where that guy was like looking at him, but there he is. There, you found little cactus. You found me. Where to next? Pull up the map at some point when we've pretty much finished finding all the minis locations and see what the rewards we've gotten for all the findings are at this point. Talk to our party members in each of these areas because Karina hasn't been through here in the other two areas with us, and Palomino and Julie haven't been to these areas at all. Comforting to feel the wind in my wings here in Tiania too. The breeze is a lot saltier than in the Vale, though. You and Hina seem to have been raised in a warm and welcoming atmosphere, though perhaps a tad too temperate for me. With all of your fur, I guess, yeah, that would probably be the case. Alright, there's Julie. Nice place you got here, Val, but does it ever get any cooler? We're like pretty much right next to a volcano, so I'm gonna have to say no. And Morley. There's a tension throughout the village. The spirits are restless without their own. Let's warp to the entrance. We'll head out and grab the cactuses and the charred passage and the airy passage. Some of these here are actually elementites that they kind of tease you with early on for some reason. That's like, oh, here's one, but you have to wait until you can come back here. Yep, because there's the water one that you are unable to grab until you actually get to Elistana. Mostly came here to check out this. I'm guessing this is going to take us back up there. Oh, we got another water one over here. This one I'm a little more curious about. Aha! Gets us a lot of the syrup here. Like to see that. Alright. Back up here, we used to get back up top. Continue on. Oh yeah, there's also 3 runes that we can locate here too. There's one here in Charred Passage, one in the Airy Passage, and then there's one at the Drifts. And just so happens that the little cactus for this spot is by the ruins for the Charred Passage. Sorry. My nose is burning, I felt that, but I did not think I'd be able to pull anything up fast enough to mute it. I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is the ruins, because I recognize this image where it says he's located. I had another sneeze there. He should be up over here. Oh? Oh, okay, this quest. Oh, someone help. No, you won't believe what happened. Those goblins looked all nice and welcoming, but they attacked me the moment I approached them. I went back to those to get myself patched up. I'll leave the goblins to you. at least they weren't too bad. They were about level 14 or so they did give a bit more experience than the regular enemies around here do. I'll turn that in at another stream too. So like I said, just with how late it is, I can't really take too much time to sidetrack outside of possibly just grabbing him. There he is. There's 3 more. Stare, you found the cactus. You found me. Where to next? Alright. Let's grab this. This actually looks like it could be a respawn clover that's just on the ground. Yeah, with how bright it is, the clovers are usually a bit of a bigger sparkle. Okay, this is gnome. So we're definitely gonna grab that. It's like 4 more things. 2 interactions with the water sprites, a water elf, no. 4 or 5. A water and an earth elementite, and 2 interactions with a water sprite. Even way back here at the start, these enemies in the ruins were a level 50. So we're definitely not able to do that. Alright. Being where we are in the game and having a full party now, we should be able to handle these guys. Have him use the vessel here, get some... Oh no, that was the class strike, but that's fine. And it's the same attack he does as the Soul Guard, just with Earth Elemental instead of Fire. That's what I gotta hit if I want to do that. Focus a bit because I'm not expecting enemies like this in this wave. Now I've had to revive them both. Oh, nice. We actually got that one. Whew. Revivifier. Here's actually our very first Earth area completed. Shouldn't focus too much on those. There's 2 more towns and like 3 more areas that I gotta find them in. We gotta find them in Longren, Airy Passage, the Drifts, and then the Steppe and the harbor. I see another elementate over there. It looks like water, so I'll grab that too. Now, wind here. Let's see where this one will set us up to. Oh, is that one now water? You wouldn't have had water before now. There is another area up here. Well, that's Lumina, so we can't do that one yet, but it's good to know it's there. So that must be a light elementite. Kind of confusing as blue like the water one is, just a much lighter color. This one over here, though, must be water because it's glowing. So we'll grab that. And then we'll warp back to Airy Passage. Pull this up. Airy Passage. Some ruins. Oh, nice, the fire elemental right here. Yeah, so he's going to be right here in this first section, which is good to know. Okay, it'll just take a bit of traveling to reach his location, though. I don't think any of them need magic. I wanted to grab that just in case they did, though. So he's next to a stone from what I saw and what it said. Must be a wind because Val was, or Longren was known as like the wind, like place where the wind was strong, I should say. All right. I think we went a little bit past where he is. There you are. Come on. Let me interact with him. Stare, you found little cactus. You found me, where to next? Wow, it's already into the next hour for me. Shoot, and I still gotta do Longren, the drifts. Still got to do like about 4 more of them. Alright. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do any more areas as I can't be staying up that late when I have to work. If I'd started this a couple hours earlier, it wouldn't be quite a big of an issue, but this is a fairly late stream. So this is a wind area, so we'll just activate this to get it marked. Over here, we'll check out some of these locations. Because these gotta be more elementites that we couldn't grab in areas that were around. Oh yeah, but I remember that one. The fire one was on the cliff. Actually, I should be using these guys to travel even faster than I am sprinting. Unfortunately, you don't see them raise the vessels when you do that, but you gotta be a little more quick and efficient at the moment. Have another point there. This is a win, but it looks like I'm gonna have to dismount to activate it. See where this takes us up. Ah, nice. It grabs all those for us. Okay. Let's head into Longren now. I'm gonna make a quick save, so in case I do have to leave before finding everything, and I forget to later, we do have some progress done. Especially considering since we've been grabbing the elementites that we have access to now, and have even completed an elemental area. Alright, so Longren, he is... Just want to close this couple of dumb ads. Okay. Right in the direct keys, by the windmill here. Unfortunately, being so pressed for time, I am not planning to grab any more of the side quests at the moment. I couldn't find a good hiding spot. You found me. Where to next? I'll only continue to say the line as long as there's something different a little bit. As that is one thing where they just kind of copied and paste, for lack of a better term. He usually says the same thing. Longren is known for being the most welcoming to outsiders, but they seem to treat us Ons quite warmly. Here's Palomina. Textiles from Longren are given their color via their traditional wind dyeing methods. They are considered luxury goods in Illistana and are highly sought after. I thought someone else was here by you. Yeah. I waste my breath talking to folks in the Vale. It's not like we have any business here anymore. Of course you wouldn't. You were fed up with this place. It's my first time seeing the home of the Dragonfolk. I can sense the strong connection I have with the spirits of wind. Let's see if we can get this point of interest over here now. Okay, so this is just... Yeah, so... That one quest in Illistana was to travel around to people all over the place that have tails, so... Like, we'd be talking to the Dragonfolk here, the cats, other people in Illistana, you name it. The tail's thicker and more sinewy than most people, but that never really bothered me very much. I like it, actually. I mean, it's pretty unique, don't you think? I will admit that tending to it can be a tad tedious, but I just see it as an opportunity to pamper myself. I hope that helps you somehow. With what that is for, yes, I think that's actually one of the more helpful tidbits we'll get about someone and how they feel. That's what I'll probably get a base second hour. So much fun. Grab that. And sorry for being like so negative sounding, just worrying about making sure I have enough sleep for work. Okay, that was a wind elementite. Kind of funny, as I now remember telling myself to remember where these elementites were located. And unless I see them, I'm probably not going to remember that some of these points were elementites coming back through. that's right. He's even on Mount Gala before we get to the cliffs. So once we hit the snow, we'll know we're in the area where he will be located. Okay, nice. We actually have enough of the pages from him now where we will get the, occasionally get the 1.5 times experience boost from him. Candy in that chest. I'm kind of surprised I missed it. I figured where that was out on a cliff by itself like that, that was a candy. Or, not a candy, sorry, a clover. Candy and money there. Yeah, that is a chest up there. I should waste too much time because we still have to go through, like I said, the location in the location in the drifts, the steppe, and the harbor. Well, the harbor is not going to be that hard. Just more the fact that there's 3 more locations we're looking for him in. Oh, come on, I thought I moved around that. There we go. Glad they got him. Okay, it's just a bird flapping its wings. For a moment that looked like a bigger guy. I'm just going to ignore you. Oh, okay. These are actually still supported by the wind spirits, which is really interesting to know that this doesn't have to be redone. Let me check something. This is probably the better way because any of the meridians take us past the first section. And we'd have to travel back. And we're already like partly through all the jumping here. So it doesn't make that much sense. So he's somewhere here in this first snow section. I need to keep that in mind that there's actually like a sort of different attack pattern if you pause and wait for the animation to finish more. Alright, where are you? Again. Okay, that's why. He is down in that first sort of wide section that you have to run around the like cliff in the middle. But he's more towards the front of it and just in a different spot than I was looking. Oops. Hey there, Honky. Yeah, I will send you an invite to the Discord channel in a moment here. Well, it looks like you already left. Ugh. Missed the jump again. Was too distracted. There we go. I suppose I was searching, I just didn't move out far enough yet. Okay, so next we go to the drifts. Okay, let's get this back up. Which meridian did that say? The north one, okay. I want to say it's possibly this one. Alright, yeah, because this looks like the bridge that's torn down. There you are. And of course, the statement there says the same thing as always. I know we actually have like a 20% discount too from the I know there's also a... Let's start with the thing. Just I'm surprised, like he says the same thing there, despite being dangling from a cliff in the cold. Up next is A-turn 2, so one more than I thought we had to do. We might have already found him at A-turn. Oh no, because A-turn would be the first one backtracking. Okay. So I forgot you have to kind of run up here a bit, although there is a meridian by the camp, which is a lot closer, but the time it would take to actually run around to it, yeah, it'd be a bit much. You know, about the same time as it would to just run there as opposed to waiting for the warp. Oh no, Karina's been here, but that's it. 16 years have passed since the history of A-turn succumbed to ruin. The thought of my former subjects suffering similarly is like torture to my soul. Alright, and Julie looks like he's around here somewhere too. If we can find him. Okay, he must be up here. Yep. I never met you. I've assumed the burrow was fated to wither and end up, just like a tear. I should write a song, a dedication to leaving my past self behind. So from what I read, he's kind of like dangling out of a window by the bridge, I think it said. Obviously he's somewhere that you can spot him and interact with him. It's not just like hanging off any old ways on the outside of the bridge. Yeah, as we see, even though it looks like there's a ledge you can walk on there, I doubt the game lets you actually jump over there. I doubt I got him from here because you don't find little cactus till after you get here. It said he's like hanging out of a window facing the bridge, I think it said. Do have an in-game message. Oh, he is on the outside. Okay. That explains why I'm not seeing him. Well, first, I have to get to a spot where the game is going to let me walk along the outside here a little bit. There you are. Ooh. For a moment there I thought that fall was... And there it is. He's literally stuck in the window. Alright. At this point, we just have 2 more locations left, thankfully, because it's been another half hour at the moment. Go to Rhyme Falls, headed there, and then we're gonna warp to the end of Rhyme Falls, because Rhyme Falls is actually where you first see him, and that is a story event. Alright, unavoidable event is kind of part of the story, so there's no way to miss him here. And then into our second to last spot to look for him. And then when we come back, And one of the streams over the weekend, if I do have the time to stream twice this over the next 3 days, we'll tackle a lot more of these elemental areas at the start of the game, which at this point shouldn't be too difficult for us to do. See, there was at the northernmost point? Yeah. So the best bets is to go to this meridian. And look, we even have more side quests here now. What I keep forgetting. Especially because we have a bit of a ways to travel at the moment before we get there from our current location. I should be using these guys here to get there faster. And once again, it says that he is hanging off a cliff. Take a look at that image again. Okay. No, he's not at that part of the cliff. Really, there was a ledge right there. Alright, my little... There you are. Shake, shake. Found you. That was a close one. And now I just gotta find him in the harbor, which is another town. So not quite as difficult as the ones out in the field are. And then as much as I would have liked to have actually done, like at least 2 more elemental areas in this quick stream. And found more of the elementites along the way that we can activate. The way time was going, unfortunately, I'm only able to unfortunately, due to that, I'm only able to find all the little cactuses back from the start here, which I had missed, which was the initial goal. So if anything were to be completely done that I wanted to do with this slate, that's going to be it. I'm definitely going to go back because I look and I didn't actually pay attention to. Or not that I didn't pay attention, it was confusing, the description that the paragraph gave. Alright, well, we did grab everything here. I was curious if there might have been an elementite here as well, but we couldn't do like another water one. Matches the map to the best that my brain is telling me. Jump up high enough from the bottom of the cliff there. Alright, where just saw you out of the corner of the eye on the screen there. That was a close one. And at this point, we actually have every little cactus that we had missed from the start after the initial spotting. And I did not realize there was one in the steppe and here in the harbor, let alone in all the areas before you find them. Although having played through Trials so many times, that is something I should have known. So, before I end this off, let's see what bonuses we have opened up at this point. If I can find the command that tells me that. Because the setting I have this on, the thing at the bottom of the screen is kind of covering the commands there. And that's side quest. I have a feeling these would be under items, but I'm not sure. Yeah, there's the diary, 25 pages. Unfortunately, you can't access it, so it doesn't actually give me the thing. Ah, nice. I'll definitely probably put that on Palomina. That one was definitely worth it. Okay. I think this is what I need to look at. Oh yeah, because we're in chapter 4, okay. Right, there we go. That's how you read all the pages, but it's not the part that I'm looking for. Okay, here we go. So we have 25 total, it looks. It looks like there's another 10 for 35. So the very first time you find him, displays on scope for treasure chests and elementite spots, which we've seen. After you have 5, you get a 10% discount at shops. At 10, half the time it's needed to escape from a battle. And we had 15, we got the 20% discount that we've seen. With the ones we got leading up through the Day-Day Cliffs and into the burrow, and then collecting the ones back down here at the start. When we hit 20, we got the 1.5 times boost earned from battles that we saw in the one fight, and then 25 is a 25% discount on conversion rates at Nikolaos Emporium. Like I said though, unfortunately because it's so late, I can't really do anything else for the time being. So that will be it for this late night stream. Like I said, it was going to be very quick. I was mostly doing 1 or 2 things if I had the time, and I had to narrow that down to the main thing that I wanted to show off. So have a good day or a good night, and we'll catch you over the next couple of days. Goodbye.